Anybody remember what Rule 213 was supposed to be? Or what it is now? Over a year ago, Governor Hochul tried to have something come in place called Rule 213, where the state can come remove you from your home and put you into quarantine. And I'm not talking about C-19. I'm talking about any disease, including Lyme disease, toxic shock syndrome, things that aren't even contagious, okay? This happened last March. It was approved to go through until a bunch of lawyers sued them for it. And the judge appealed it. They said, this is not gonna go through, no thanks, goodbye. Until this past September, when Governor Hochul appealed that decision. Followed up with the New York State Supreme Court Appellate Division, 4th Judicial Department. Both sides gave their argument. Hochul's lawyers saying, oh, it's not going to be as bad as you think, while the other lawyers saying what the nightmare will be if this goes through. Number one, there's no age restriction. It could be your newborn baby, it could be your grandparents, it could be you who just gave birth. There are no restrictions to removing the person that needs to come out and go in quarantine. Could be in the middle of the night, middle of the day, while you're at work, doesn't matter. They take you.
Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises and glory
also, to
and honor
take what
that's due to
ever medicine that they give you.
I want to give double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and blessings and salutations to the hopeful elect. Noise in this gospel, brother, lifting up the standard of Yahweh, Shemi Shai, wherever it may be. This is a quick lesson through the Spirit, revisiting this Rule 213, which is a bill that was shot down several times by particular lawyers and I believe federal regulations. Basically in housing or detaining citizens that may be suspected of some type of illness. Now, we've been saying, since we've come on YouTube from the apostles and elders on down, that there was going to come a time that they will be able to, quote unquote, legally detain people based on certain legislative practices that they're going to implement in order to justify them locking people up. Okay, now, allegedly, this bill has been reinstated, because I did some research on it, and it says something about December 2023, which was literally a couple of weeks ago, that they reinstated the bill in a roundabout way. And I say roundabout way because I don't know the details of it, because at first I heard they was going through with it and then they shut it down, then allegedly they came back to open it back up, because something big is on the horizon, man, okay? And it's gonna come a time that they're gonna have troops policing these streets, man, and they gonna put the piper to you jakes, man. Okay? Apostle Tahar deemed this year through the Spirit the hopeful year of Jacob's trouble. And, just from a few stories brothers been telling and what we've been seeing in the news and how these migrants are coming over here, and, it's looking like that may very well be the case. Okay? It's another video on here I want to show too, which shows them, it was probably like 10 dudes, SWAT team, kicked in this Edomite's door and basically detained her through flashbangs in there, and she may have like a 6-month-old baby in there, and the baby is sick, which, that's, you are Edomites. We don't really give a damn about you Edomites. But overall, if they're doing it to Edomites, how much more you Jakes? Okay? Because, hey, we're in a time now that all bets are off. They got this shit called, I was looking, the brother posted this, and I actually did a little lesson on it yesterday. But it's called Disease 10, and I say it that way. It says, Insider admits Disease 10 will be final solution to do away with 6 billion souls. Now, when I was looking at the video yesterday, this guy by the name of, I believe it's Steve Ram or some shit, he was basically going into how with this particular illness, basically they've done a test study on monkeys, and they said that they not monkeys, Salakia. They did a test study on 8 rats, and each rat had 100% mortality rate, because they found particular spike proteins that's in humans that's contained in this matter, and it was injected into these rats, and the rats all died. Okay, and they're comparing this to the Mossberg pump, to the Zika, to the you-know-who, and all these other illnesses, and they said that the mortality rate is going to be pretty high. And we know that this guy Kill Gates stated that the next one will get your attention, and by 2025 they're expecting another global, a global pestilence, which goes back into the point of this video here. Okay, Rule 213, and you can look it up, man. For those of you that may not think that this is true, hey, this man is the devil, and he's getting ready to come down with great wrath, man. Okay, So get another couple of precepts here. Let me get some precepts. It's the book of Zechariah 14, and I'm start at 1, because the brother Micah Allah from the LA camp, he did a lesson on it as well. You know, I know a few brothers went into it a couple of months ago. I did a video on it a few months ago, and you know, it looked like that is back in surface, and it makes a lot of sense that New York has reinstated this bill, because we know New York is pretty much the capital of the world. Okay, they call New York the Empire State, because we know that when things are approved in New York, then eventually LA, the Chicago, then, you know, the surrounding states, they end up approving of these ordeals. So this is going to be a nationwide thing. She was talking about getting out of New York. Nah, you can get out of New York. At the end of the day, it still ain't gonna change anything, because you could get out of New York and go to New Hampshire, or you can go to Jersey, or you can go down to what's another blue state? You can go to Chicago. Same thing, you know. So hey, the Lord, man, he's bad, and he's getting ready to unleash holy hell on America, man. Purging process. But it says here, behold, the day of the Lord cometh. And what's the day of the Lord? Okay, destruction, judgment, hell on earth. And it says, and thy spoil should be divided in the midst of thee. And when you think of spoil, think of booty. It says, here, for I will gather all nations against Jerusalem to battle. It says, and the city should be taken, and the houses rifled, and the women's ravished. And half of the city should go forth into captivity, and the residue of the people should not be cut off from the city. So when these outbreaks happen in the city, and they're gonna have buses lined up at certain checkpoints, they may say, well, look, man, we got resources here at Walmart. Come over here, get you some water, get in a safe place. And before you know it, they take your ass to a FEMA camp, which a lot of these Walmarts, Targets, a lot of these stadiums, they're gonna be FEMA camps. Okay, they showed you that in that movie, The Siege. I believe it was with Denzel Washington, and they was detaining people in these stadiums. Okay, and also they got a FEMA camp, I believe, off the coast of Anchorage, Alaska, and they said it can house up to 2.5 million people in it. So hey, you Americans, you already done shot the J. Basically, you are already susceptible into going into these concentration camps, and they know that, because they know that half you people shot that joint, half you people partook in the lies. So they already know that you're harboring a particular ordeal inside you. Come on, man, what the fuck is this dude? They already know that you're harboring some I said this way, some grievousness inside your body. So in order to allegedly keep humanity safe, they want to detain you, which they tricked you people to go down there and lift up your arm and do what you had to do. But now, hey, you're walking around with disease 10 inside your ass, man. Okay, and hey, millions of people was gonna drop, man. Okay, as we just read in the little clip that the brother had posted, it says, read it again. It says, inside our midst, this would be the final solution to populate 6 billion. You have roughly 7.5, 8 billion people on the planet Earth. That means that they want to get rid of 2/3 of those people. They want to wipe out 6 billion of you people, starting with you Israelites first, because you make up the majority of the population, believe it or not. Okay, so this is going to be the whole ordeal. So hey, all your fun and games, your clubs, your venues, all your going out to your baseball games, that shit finna be over with. Because if this indeed hit this side of the world, which they're already talking about it, you know, cases of certain illnesses are showing up at different parts of the world from this white lung shit. You know, they already told you that these things are over here. So hey, it's just a matter of time before they shut this place down. All right, but reading again, it says, "If I would gather all nations against Jerusalem," and when you think of all nations, every nation had us in slavery. Okay, and then when you got the UN, which stands for the United Nations, hey, every nation sits within a UN council in some form or fashion. That's why when you look at the military, it ain't just Edomites in the UN. You got Jake soldiers, you got Edomites, you got Moabites, you got a lot of Hamites, okay, you got Elamites, you know, you got a lot of guys or a lot of different nations that consist of the UN, which UN stands for United Nations. And it says, and the city should be taken. And the city is talking about Jerusalem. Because, hey, honestly speaking, they really want to exterminate you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. Okay? And it's really Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. Okay? Because of your wickedness, your evil doing, man. And you haven't repented of your idolatry. Okay? So a lot of you are getting ready to get tarted off to these concentration camps and they're gonna put that you know what inside you, you know. And then those of you that resist, they just gonna put you to death. Okay, because there will be resistance against this, because the average peon American, they're waking up to the fact that something is wrong. They're looking at the fact that their constitutional rights are being taken from them, you know, and that this country is doing wickedness. They see it that way. So this is why you got Edomites calling for like militias, you know, to band up and to gear arms and to go against the government, because people are realizing that this place ain't right, man. You know, they're realizing that they're under attack, their constitutional oath. So therefore, people gonna take up arms and they're gonna go against the military. But it says, and the house is rifled, meaning they're gonna go door to door. The women ravished, and half of the city should go forth into captivity. And when you go into captivity, it goes into those concentration camps, man. Okay, those FEMA camps. So you women, you children, hey, she said they don't discriminate against women and children. You a child, they'll throw you in there. If they suspect that your child have a they're gonna throw your kid in a concentration camp, man. They're gonna separate you women from your men. They're gonna separate the babies from the women. And hey, it's a bad day in Babylon, because hey, you jakes, you didn't take heed. And it says, and the house is rifled and the women ravished, and half of the city should go forth into captivity, and the residue of the people should not be cut off from the city, because they're gonna entrench you in. Okay, it says ravish goes into literally taking that shit by force. All right, a lot of you women, you promiscuous ass women that call yourselves Israelites, or you black women, you goddesses out there, all that twerking and ass popping you doing, hey, these martial law troops, they see that, and they gonna remember that, and they gonna take it, man. I mean, you show it off anyway, so they gonna come in and they gonna take that shit, you know. Second Edge was 16. Matter of fact, let's go from here to the book of Matthews. No, what is it? Luke 19 and 44. Yep. Now I'm gonna read it in the New Living Testament, because you know this New Living Testament, man. That's a cold piece. As my man in home, one of my homeboys said, man, that's a cold piece right there. But hey, this is Luke 19, and I'm gonna start at verses 41. It says, but as he came closer to Jerusalem and saw the city ahead, he began to weep. And it says, how I wish today that you of all people will understand the way to peace. Right. And that proves that Yahweh Shah was only dealing with the nation of Israel, because he said you of all people. He didn't say Esau, he didn't say the other nations, but he said you of all people. You see? And it says here, understand the way to peace, but now it is too late and peace is hidden from your eyes. Meaning because the Romans was getting ready to roll on Jake, and they're getting ready to roll again, but this time in a far greater detail. Okay? It says, before long your enemies will build ramparts against your walls and encircle you and close you in from every side. And they will crush you to the ground, and your children with you, and your enemies will not leave a single stone in place, because you did not accept the opportunity of your salvation, meaning you didn't repent. Meaning you didn't believe that the Lord's men were out here speaking his gospel, okay? Speaking life into you. Get you to call on the name of the Lord, but instead you chose to scoff and go on about with your daily lives, man, which is going to end bad for the 2/3. You see? Because now, hey, they got them, like, I remember back in 2020, these purple lights started popping up, and they look like UV lights, which basically the military uses to detect invisible light, you know. And they still got a lot of these purple lights around the city, you know. And I remember when I was working for that department, and I was telling my supervisor, I said, man, y'all lights are turning purple out here. And he tried to act like he didn't know. He was like, oh, well, we didn't know that, but they're 5G capable, you see. And those lights ain't purple for nothing. So shit finna get real crazy out here. Especially talking about this, they said that this it spreads from the lungs and it eats at your brain. So my guess is zombie apocalypse, because it doesn't necessarily have to kill you physically, but it can kill your thought process, and before you know it, you become something unnatural. So my mind said, hey, this may be that, but we have to wait and see. All right. Got one more video I want to post, then I'm gonna go into 2 more precepts, man. But this shit was crazy.
The nightmare will be if...
Peep this, brothers. Let me go here.
You wanna go?
Get the fuck off my shit. Peep this.
Elyria, Ohio. Police go to raid a home and serve a warrant as part of what they called an ongoing criminal investigation. As you can see, they showed up rolling pretty deep. They take positions up in front of the door and prepare to enter. While that's happening outside, inside, Courtney and her 17-month-old Waylon who has several health issues, he is on a ventilator, are just going about their day. Waylon is sitting on the floor watching Miss Rachel. Courtney is in the next room preparing a bottle for his feeding. That's when she says she hears what she describes as a very loud knocking at the front door.
And you know why they do that? They do that to intimidate you. Those are called Gestapo tactics. Okay, they do that to intimidate you and generate fear, because usually if somebody come banging at your door, you don't really have time to think because anxiety kicks in. Okay, it was totally unexpected, and this is why they hit you at 2 to 5 o'clock in the morning when you're not expecting them to come, because they knowing that once you're under that type of duress, basically you can't think straight, and 9 times out of 10, you know, you're gonna do something that's not wise because you ain't got time to get your thoughts in order. You know, everything is happening so quick. They're surrounding you. You ain't got time to think. You don't know what to say. And before you know it, you can act out of fear, and they'll be justified on blowing your ass away. Okay, and this is how they gonna come in. It was like 15 of these guys, man. All right, and this is what the shit Esau do, and this is how he's gonna roll on you Jakes. If they rolling on Edomites like that, how much more you Jakes, man?
She does not hear them announce that they're police. She actually thought that it was a family member banging, kind of joking around. As she walks toward the front door, she sees police through the window, but before she can react, they come in. Courtney says they're smashing out windows, there's guns drawn, she's grabbed and put in cuffs, and in the melee, she says she sees the window to the room where her son was laying and smoke coming out of it. And she believes that a flashbang has gone off in there and that her child could very well be harmed. She begins crying to check on her child, and she claims that police seem very dismissive and uncaring about what's going on. You know, after what Courtney seems to describe as like...
See, and I don't want to show too much because I know they get too sensitive. But basically, man...
This is when they entered.
The little boy was basically hospitalized. And this is Edomite that doing this shit too. So how much more you Jakes, as we just read it in Luke 19, it says here, they will crush you to the ground and your children with you. You see? So right there, man, proves exactly what we've been saying. This thing is getting ready to go down. And how about Shimei Hawashai, man? Hey, he's going to be the one to put the piper to you Jakes, man. All right. Let's go from here to 2nd Ezra 16. In 68, it says, for behold, the burning wrath of a great multitude is kindled over you, and they should take away certain of you, feed you, being idle with things offered unto idols. And they which consent unto them should be had in derision and reproach and trodden underfoot. Going back into rule, what is it called? Rule 2.13. Okay, they're gonna literally try to bully people into this shit. Or if you don't get what we administering to you, then we're gonna detain you and we may just cut your damn head off. It's getting real, brothers, man. These threats are getting ready to start knocking at the door, man. Okay, so it behooves us to really get our minds and focus and anticipate what's going on, man. You know? These people, Jake, is wicked. But it says here, for there should be in every place, meaning all your cities, your states, and the next cities, a great insurrection upon those that fear the Lord. And who fears the Lord? The Israelites. Okay? It says they should be like madmen, sparing none, meaning they going door to door and putting you down, but still spoiling and destroying those that fear the Lord. It says, for they shall waste to take away their goods and cast them out of their houses. Then shall they be known who are my chosen, and they should be tried as gold in the fire. But hear, O ye my beloved, says Yahweh, behold, the days of trouble are at hand, but I will deliver you from the same. So be ye not afraid, neither doubt, for Yahweh is your guide. Okay, so hey, brothers, we ain't got nothing to worry about. But hey, you are going to be put in some uncomfortable situations. Okay, overall, the Lord is going to get us through these things. But hey, some of us going to be straight up faced with direct confrontations of this shit. So just get your minds prepared. Hey, stay in the spirit. Call on the name of the Lord. And hey, let the Lord work. Because it ain't nothing we can do. Because you know how you get out of a situation. You always say, what I should have done, I could have. Nah, man. It don't work that way. All right, whatever the Lord puts on your spirit, that's what you're going to do. If it's nothing, then that means you ain't going to do nothing because the Lord put it on your spirit to not do nothing. You know? But anyway, last precept, Revelation 2:10, it says, don't be afraid of what you're about to suffer. It says the devil will throw some of you into prison to test you. You will suffer for 10 days, which 10 goes into a completion of time. But it says, but if you remain faithful, even when facing death, I will give you a crown of life. Okay? So that's the point. So with that, all praises and glory and honor that's due to Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. Lord's will you edify it to the next lesson. Shalom.